If you've ever wanted to learn how to play that smooth style of piano playing that you sometimes hear in cocktail bars or in lounges, then this is the video for you, because today I'm going to be breaking down all the techniques that the pros use. Let's get into it. All right, in order to play cocktail style piano, you need to learn what the progression sounds like. This is called the turnaround. And that is using my 1-6-2-5 progression. So this first one is C major 7, this is my 1 chord. A minor 7, this is my 6. But you might have noticed I was making it a dominant chord, which is totally allowed to. You can either use diatonic chords or you can make these dominant and they also sound great. The next chord I used was D minor 7. And the last chord of this progression is a G7, and I kind of added a little flat 9 in there too. So it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the A. I'm gonna make it A minor for now. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is the first progression. Progression number 2 that we need to learn first is going to be the 2-5-1 progression, which is kind of the foundation of jazz and that lounge style playing. 2-5-1, it's kind of built into that first one. It's D minor, G7, and the 1 is C major 7, 2-5-1. But you can also take this into different keys. For example, the key of D major would be E minor 7 is the 2, A dominant 7 is the 5, D major 7 is the 1. But hear me out. I'm not gonna do a full 2-5-1. I'm gonna kind of do 2-5-2-5, 2-5-1. Crazy, right? Let me show you what that sounds like. Here is the 2, D minor. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the 5. Now to E minor. There's the A. Then back to D minor. This is really popular in jazz. And then you can resolve on that one at any point in time. So just want to get you those, get those progressions under your fingers at first before we move on to the actual thing that makes it sound like cocktail piano. So the first technique I need you to learn is the root and the fifth. Now this is so important for building that left hand technique. So if I have a C major chord, let's start from the very beginning, C major 7. The root and the fifth is C and G, just those 2 notes. But you're gonna play this on the left hand, kind of like that. So I want you to try this exercise with me. You're gonna go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, just the root and fifth, 2. This is really gonna help you for stride. For A minor, root, and the fifth, same thing. 1, 2, 3. D minor is D and A. 2, 3, 4, G7, and you can go up or down, the root, the fifth, and then resolve. So that is step 1, is learning your 1 and 5. And whenever you're learning a jazz standard, anything, you want your left hand to know automatically where the 1 and 5 for every chord is. All right, so if you want to get that classic jazz sound, you need to learn stride piano. Now, stride piano is all about jumping across the piano, kind of like this. And getting really good at stride can take some time, but I'm gonna show you some easy ways to get started right now. So let's begin with our 1-6-2-5 turnaround progression we just learned. C major 7, A minor 7, D minor 7, and G7. Now here's what I want you to do to start. I want you to play it broken, kind of like this. And we're gonna play the root note first, 1, 2, and then the fifth. And then just play those top 3 notes. So one more time, root, chord, fifth, chord. Then we're gonna go to A minor, do the same thing. Root, then the fifth. Now D minor, same idea. Root, fifth, and then G7, same thing. So you need to get really confident knowing the root and the fifth for every one of these chords. And that is the key to playing stride piano. Now, see if you can try it along with me. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. That's it. All right, that's pretty tricky, and that might take some time to master, but start there, and once you get that, now you can actually start jumping a little bit more. So now, for level 2 of stride piano, try something a little bit like this. Hit a low note, and then play the full chord. It just kind of gives it more of a full sound, you know? So it does require a little bit more jumping, but when you play it like this, you can also add some approach tones and even change up the chord. Like this is A dominant now. G9. And that's gonna free up your right hand to kind of have a little bit more fun improvising. But before we jump into the improvising aspect, let's learn one more left hand technique, which is the walking bass line. All right, so the walking bass line is basically just 4 numbers I need you to memorize. 1, 2, 3, and then 5. So there's 4 notes, 1, 2, 3, 5. Now let me show you what I mean when I say those numbers. So if I have a C major 7 chord, I'm gonna take the 1, 2, 3, and 5, but with my left hand. So here's C major 7, let's get your left hand ready. 1, 2, 3, 5. You can play it again. If I have A minor 7, well, I just do 1, 2, 3, 5 starting on A. But what if I have A dominant 7, like this? Because I play that sometimes. So you could go 1, 2, 3, 5. Let's do D minor. And then G7. So one of the most common questions I always get when teaching walking bass lines is, Kevin, how do I know which C to start on? You can start on pretty much any C as long as it doesn't get too high on the piano, or any note as long as it doesn't get too high. So for example, if I'm playing a walking bass line and I want to go to like A minor, that's already getting a little high for my liking, and if I get to up here, it doesn't even sound like a bass anymore. So you want to take advantage of that low range of the piano. And I always try to stick a little bit lower, even if it sounds a little crunchy. I just love the way it sounds when you play low on a walking bass line. So let's try playing through the progression together. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 5. That's it. Same thing. A 1, 2, 3, 5. 2, 3, 5, 1. And end on C major 7 here. All right, so if you've been digging this jazzy piano vibe so far and want to take things to the next level, I've got something for you. My 30-day jazz piano course is live on Pianote, and it's designed to take you from basic chords to confident, creative jazz playing in just 30 days. Click the link below, grab a free trial, and let's keep this momentum going. In the meantime, let's get back into it. Let's talk about chord extensions. It's how you take your chords from sounding like a major 7 to adding like a 6, 9, or even just a 9, or just, you know, you can add just so much more color to them. Here's a G7, but here's a G9, for example. I don't know, it just sounds a little bit more sophisticated, and let me show you how I'm doing this. So here is C major 7, and for this chord, to get to the 9, this is my 9th right here, but it's a little hard to play all those notes at once. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play just the upper voices like this, E, G, B, and D. So when I'm playing this, you might notice there's nothing playing the C. So your left hand actually has to play the C in order for it to be a C major 9. So the example I'm gonna play for you is just with my left hand. So playing C, the rootless voicing, and then the 5th. So still doing our stride. So if I do that on A minor, here's a low A, here is the rootless voicing for A minor. D, here's D minor 9 up here, F, A, C, E. It just has a little bit more color than a regular 7. There's the G9, just an inversion. And that's what it can sound like. So let's see if we can try that together. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to try and keep a nice little bounce in your wrist when you're playing this. D minor 9, G9. Try it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4 to A. And you want to have a nice solid rhythm here. So that frees up your right hand to really have fun. All right, so there are chord extensions using the stride piano technique. Make sure you take things one step at a time before you start adding those ninths in. But once you do, you can kind of see how it starts to build and build on creating that smooth and jazzy sound you hear all the time. All right, now for the fun part. Let's learn how to improvise on the piano, because this is something cocktail piano players are doing all the time. They might play the song for 30 seconds and they're improvising for like 5 minutes. And so there's one scale I'm going to show you right now, which is a great way to improvise if you're kind of new to it or you just want to learn a different scale. And it kind of sounds like this. This is the scale real quick. This is kind of a mixture of two scales, and I call it the blues mixolydian. And why do I call it the blues mixolydian? Well, we're using something called our blues notes, which is this little slide here we have on the flat 3, the E flat. We also have it on this one. So those notes are not typically in your C major scale, right? So we have these two black notes, but they sound great when you kind of go down. And we also have one more black note, this B flat. And I call this the flat 7. So this is what gives us that mixolydian mode. Now, if you don't know anything about modes, you don't have to worry about too much about why it's called what it's called, but just know it's called the blues mixolydian. Let's try this scale and let's try putting it hands together. So we're gonna use triplet rhythms in our right hand like this. Triplet, 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 hold. Triplet, 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 hold. That's the rhythm while we're playing notes in our left hand. So let's just hold the chord here like this and let's try it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Triplet, 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 hold. Now let's take it up an octave, see what that sounds like. So that is a different sort of scale. So you can obviously use your C major scale, which is all the white notes, to improvise. But if you want to add a little bit more color in there, you can also add those blues notes and the mixolydian 7th. So here's what it can sound like when you kind of start putting that together. Kind of has a little bit of a bluesy sound. It's kind of like a mixture of the minor blues and the major blues, all kind of combined into one scale. All right, those are some of my favorite techniques when it comes to cocktail piano. Everything from stride to the walking bass line, chord extensions, and adding a scale so that you can begin to improvise. So have fun with it. Make sure you check the link down below one more time if you want to get started on the 30-day jazz piano course with me and take this to the next level. But otherwise, leave a comment down below and we'll see you next time.